Clifford Kirkham Brown was born in Dayton, Ohio, on March 20, 1898, one of 8 children born to Harry and Nettie Brown. Harry worked as an engineer, and he died in 1912, when Clifford was only 12 years old. At the age of 19, Clifford enlisted in the Army at Fort Thomas, Kentucky, on May 2, 1917. He was assigned to the 1st Company of the Coastal Artillery Corps at Fort Hunt, Virginia, until July 11, 1917, when he sailed for France. He reached the rank of radio sergeant and was assigned to the headquarters detachment of I Battery, 52nd Coastal Artillery Corps. By August of 1918, he was stationed with the battery in the Champaign sector, where he penned this letter to his brother Arthur. To Mr. Arthur L. Brown, 660 Lakeview Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, USA. August 6, 1918. Somewhere. Dear Brother Art, I'll just have time to write a line or two, for I've got to get my barrack bag out and have everything checked up. Having very disagreeable weather here now, for it's raining all the time. There's one thing a soldier hates unless he gets out of drill or work, and it's rain. Art, old boy, you've certainly helped me pass many a weary hour by sending the posts. I received 3 on July 24th, and 2 today, so that means I read tonight. I suppose you know that Wally is over here now. I got a fine letter from him. He's in southern France someplace, so it's quite a ways from me. But if luck stays with me, as it has been while we've been under heavy shell fire, I'll see him yet. I imagine you are pretty lonesome now that Claire is away, but you'll have a good time and enjoy her visit. There's been a world of things happened since I wrote you last, but if I put them down, the censor would have this letter looking like a sieve. But I can tell you that we've been doing very fine work, and received Belgian and French officials congratulating us on our fine work and bravery while under heavy shell fire and being bombed at night. Say, that makes the old needles run up and down your backbone. I was laying down in the field with Fively, and we were remarking how lucky our battery was, and that God was certainly with us, when off in the distance we heard the well-known sound of the Boche machines. It was real clear, and the stars were at their brightest. I'd venture to say there were 20 or 25 of them, and we could catch a glimpse of the machines as they passed between us and the big stars. We supposed they were going on over to bomb some city, but they thought different, for they started to let them come, and come they did, fast and furious. We decided we were just as safe where we were, as we'd be if we got behind something or in one of those shallow trenches. It makes no difference where you are if one of those have your number. You're gone. But all through that, God stayed with us, and still none of us are scratched. It will just be our luck to get through this war safe and sound, and then have the gangplank break when we land at New York on our return. But Art, you can just tell them all that the U.S. boys are fighting demons. We've got them on the backward march now, and another million or two and they'll make an about-face and run crying comrade. Getting along fine with the radio work, and getting actual experience, so you know what that means. Kate said you were getting along fine with your new job. Glad to hear it. Give my love to all. From your brother, Cliff. When the war ended, Clifford sailed for home on board the USS Antigone on December 21st, 1918. And just a few months later, he was honorably discharged from the Army on February 5th, 1919. Clifford moved to Middletown, Ohio, and married Eva Faye Acton on June 21st, 1922. Together they raised 2 sons, and Clifford worked for the Gardner Richardson Paper Company on Charles Street until his death on March 21st, 1949.